willkommen wieder bei Sarah's Music. Heute sind wir in London und die Sendung heute wird very British. Wir verbringen den ganzen Tag mit der Band of the Coldstream Guards. The Band of the Coldstream Guards ist eine der ältesten und bekanntesten britischen Gardekapellen. Das Hauptquartier befindet sich in den Wellington Barracks mitten in London, ganz nah am Buckingham Palace. Und ich bin schon sehr aufgeregt, dass ich das Orchesterleben mal einen Tag lang hinter den Kulissen miterleben darf. Heute Morgen bereiten sich die Musiker für den Guard Mount vor. Das heißt, es geht gleich zum Wachwechsel vor dem Buckingham Palace. Colour Sergeant Darren Hardy. Guard mount means you accompany the soldiers who are changing the guard.
Changing the guard is what it says on the tin. You know, we take the new guard from Wellington Barracks to Buckingham Palace. We change him and we bring the old guard back.
And this is what you've done ever since for 300 and how many was it years?
Yes, yeah. That's the main bulk of the duties. Yeah, changing the guard. Yeah.
And what does it mean? Do you have for the rehearsals? Do you have to rehearse every day before you go out? Do you have a standard repertoire?
Most days, yes. I mean, we have sort of three set lists of music. We have the marches, and then we have what we call general sort of entertainment music, which you'll see on the square at Wellington Barracks, where we entertain the troops with that. And then once we get to the forecourt of Buckingham Palace, we have the pads, and then we'll play more things like overtures and, you know, pieces to entertain the troops and not the crowds.
And if there was a war, what would your job be? Do you think of yourself as a musician or as a member of the army, or?
I think all of that, really. I'd like to say primarily a musician, because that's where we're employed as. All of us have studied music before joining the army, so we trained as musicians before we trained as soldiers. When military musicians had their sort of first military roles, they were employed as medics and stretcher bearers. And now it's more sort of nuclear, biological, chemical warfare, decontamination units. So should there be an event of something as horrific as that, which we hope not, the whole band would be deployed, and that's what they would work as.
Let's hope you stay entertaining the troops.
Yeah.
What happens if it rains?
Right, this is an interesting one. For the guard mount to be called off, it has to be raining at 11 o'clock, and it can't just be any rain, it has to be inclement.
Inclement rain? What is inclement rain?
I think it's more than drizzle. So then the officer rings, the captain of the guard rings the palace and said, you know, can we call it? And they call it at 11 o'clock.
So you're all out there getting you're all changed, you've got your hats on, ready to go.
Yeah, and you'll find a lot of musicians become experts in the weather and they get very excited when it's going to rain. So if you see any musicians in bearskins doing the rain dance, you know for a fact that they're probably trying to get off guard at 11 o'clock and go home early.
Is it true you've got to shampoo it beforehand?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Just normal shampoo.
Okay. Gosh, and how often do you have to do that?
Every month, once a month.
Freshly shampooed.
Yeah.
Let's go. Laura, bandmaster, you're a horn player actually, I know that, but today you're conducting the band. What does that mean? You're out there on the courtyard, and how does it work?
Well, I go out there with the band and we conduct some static music while the troops are being inspected, and then I conduct over in the forecourt.
So you walk with them to Buckingham Palace, and after that, and then you come out and you...
Yes, I'll march with them, but yes, yeah.
March, sorry, yes. Walk, march. These are all new terms for me, inspection, marching. Jedes Jahr wird der Geburtstag der Queen gefeiert mit einem Großereignis. Trooping the Colour heißt das, und natürlich ist die Band of the Coldstream Guards dabei. Die spielen mit 4 anderen Armeeorchestern, und das heißt viele Proben und natürlich viel Inspektion, und das Ganze wird ein riesiges Spektakel. happy to welcome the horn section of the Band of the Coldstream Guards. Thank you so much, boys, for coming and talking to me today. After all that marching around in your hard boots, I was really impressed. You must actually be quite fit to do this job.
A little. It takes a bit of blow, but...
Do you ever get out of breath when you're on a march?
Yes, going up the hill at Windsor.
At Windsor, because on the way to Buckingham Palace there are no hills.
No, it's fine around here.
And you all look really incredible. Tell me, what is a day in the life of the Band of the Coldstream Guards like? You were here very early this morning.
So for a guard like today, you probably spend around at least an hour doing your kit, preparing for that. You'll warm up, you'll have a rehearsal for guard. But then the other large aspect of the job is that we're completely self-managed. So we all have jobs in the band. Mick runs the instrument stall. Mark trains us. He's a physical training instructor.
You make them run up and down hills?
Yeah.
Really?
It makes me very popular.
So Mark, how do people get, if there are people watching that want to be in this band and play with you wonderful horn players and wear these wonderful uniforms, how would they go about applying to be in the band?
Well, the Army is recruiting horn players in particular at the moment, and also many other instruments, and they would have to audition to the Royal Military School of Music, contact any of the band recruiting teams, and then after that they would go to phase 1 training, a little bit of military discipline and drill, and then they would go on to phase 2, which is the musical side at the Royal Military School of Music, Nella Hall, and that would be where they would hone their instrumental playing, practice playing and marching, and get to the standard required so that when they can join the wider Army bands, then they're able to hit the ground running, as it were.
Chris, can I ask you, you went into the Army as a horn player, or do you feel more a soldier than a horn player, or are you a musician first?
I was a musician first. Went into the Army as a horn player in January 1982. And I tried to get in the Guards bands, but there were no vacancies, so they said, look, just join the Army. You'll be able to transfer over first opportunity. Well, it took me 10 years, 9 months before I could finally do it.
Thank you so much for taking the time. I am in awe of what you do. I don't know how you do it, marching and playing at the same time. It's just really quite incredible. So
You should try it.
I should try it.
You should try it.
What, marching and playing at the
With
same
us.
time?
Das war's von Sarah's Music für heute. Ich hatte einen tollen Tag mit der Band of the Coldstream Guards. Bis zum nächsten Mal und tschüss from London. So the horn section of the Band of the Coldstream Guards have challenged me to play the horn and march and wear a bearskin hat. No idea if I can, but I'm going to have a go. Okay. Right. Oh, there's something hanging in my face. There we go. Okay. Yeah?
down. Horns. Stand at ace. Stand easy. Well done.
I was rubbish. I was rubbish.